What's going on, guys? This is Kareem with the Crypto Lab Academy, your co-founder and host of today's episode. So if you're new, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. I'm going to be taking you through some big news in crypto this week, and without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Welcome, guys. So we have some big news coming out of PayPal, OKX and Bitcoin Cash, and last but not least, Ethereum. So first in the news, PayPal. Ran Neuner, who is the host of the CNBC Crypto Trader show, today announced on Twitter that you can now really buy Bitcoin on PayPal. So he released a little screenshot here, which I believe is a beta version of the full release, because I went ahead and checked myself, and I don't have access to this yet. But you can see that he's buying $100 of Bitcoin at $13,265 for zero transaction fees, which is very interesting. During the full release, there may be transaction fees, but just for this beta version, it might be free. But be on the lookout for that, because they might be an industry leader in that feat if they do have zero fees for purchasing Bitcoin. But more on PayPal. PayPal launches new service enabling users to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency. The migration towards digital payments and digital representation of value continues to accelerate, driven by the COVID-19 pandemic and increased interest in digital currencies from central banks and consumers. PayPal Holdings, ticker symbol PYPL, today announced the launch of a new service enabling customers to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency directly from their PayPal account. So more on PayPal if you don't really know what PayPal does. PayPal has remained at the forefront of the digital currency payment revolution for more than 20 years by leveraging technology to make financial services and commerce more convenient, affordable, and secure. The PayPal platform is empowering more than 300 million customers and merchants in more than 200 markets to join and thrive in the global economy. So next up, Blockport announces Iran becomes the first country to constitute Bitcoin as a legal means of exchange within its jurisdiction. So this is some big news for cryptocurrency. Because if you don't know, Iran is one of the current countries that suffers from currency hyperinflation, along with Zimbabwe and Venezuela. So they were eventually going to need a replacement for their own fiat currency eventually, but no one was really expecting them to come out of the woodworks and announce that they're buying Bitcoin. So this may be the beginning of the apocalypse for traditional fiat currencies. Next up, OKX. Still paralyzed by founder's arrest. Details plans for Bitcoin Cash hard fork. Cryptocurrency deposit withdrawals are still suspended at the OKX exchange following a founder's recent arrest. But officials with the Malta-based company are moving ahead with other matters, including planning around the upcoming hard fork of Bitcoin Cash blockchain. The BCH hard fork, expected for November 15th, is a result of a blockchain update proposal in August from a group known as Bitcoin Cash ABC. Among other changes, the Bitcoin Cash team plans to introduce a new Coinbase rule which requires 8% of the mined Bitcoin Cash to be redistributed to Bitcoin ABC as a means of financing the protocol development. This change, however, is opposed by Roger Ver, executive chairman of the mining pool Bitcoin.com and the Bitcoin Cash node. So Roger Ver is often known as the face of the Bitcoin Cash team, so it's very interesting that he's opposed to this update. So if you don't know, this update would make Bitcoin Cash slightly more centralized, even though it does give developers incentive to keep updating the protocol. it is something to be a little bit worried about because it is incentivizing more centralization. So just a note to keep in the back of your mind if you're currently holding any Bitcoin Cash in your portfolio. So finally, Ethereum developers pencil in January for ETH Berling hard fork. So before we get into that, I'm just going to give you a quick update from Tristan about Ethereum, because there's some big moves that are coming in the market. So we'll shift over to Tristan for our technical analysis.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Want to hit you guys with some real quick Ethereum technical analysis. So here I have opened the Ethereum against the US dollar pair on the 4-hour time frame. Now, what's interesting is we had this beautiful W pattern on Ethereum, bounced off support, but you would think because we had a lower low, and this is just a tip for you guys, for all you traders out there, if you have a lower high and then another lower low, right, on a W pattern, it doesn't make it overwhelmingly strong. Now, what I do want to bring to your attention is this. I'll go ahead and pull out the parallel channel tool, draw from the highest point here through all of these high points, back down, and you'll notice something very, very interesting here, that we broke out of this bull flag channel, right? Now, what's interesting about this is that we had this fake out right at this point, came right back in, hit support, and then if you caught it, we got a little W right here. Again, W's in the market are always wins for us. And so if you would have took a trade from this point, I mean, that's more aggressive. Or if you would have took a trade, I know some of you guys like breakout trades. Some people do, some people don't. I personally, I don't mind it as long as I have my volume. So if you would have took a trade at the neckline, at the breakout of the neckline, right over here, I mean, you'd be in profit right now a ton, because now we're currently trading at 411, right? So, I mean, powerful breakout on Ethereum. Let's talk about future price predictions for Ethereum. I mean, these orange and white lines I have, these are the orange represents monthly support or monthly resistance in this case, and the white lines represent weekly support. So that being said, where could we go? I'm going to scale it up to the daily, right? I drew this trend line from this low to this high. If you don't know what this is, it's an AB equals CD. So we'll go from the most local recent low, and we'll draw it from the high. Again, this is the daily, going back from March of that Corona crash dump all the way up until, well, let's just say August of this year. I mean, in the next couple of months, we could easily see a $700 plus Ethereum, right? But let's talk about short term. I mean, in the short term, I'm going to go ahead and draw some fibs for you so we can get a better idea of the short term. So let me pull out my Fibonacci retracement tool, drop from the high, swing high to swing low, right? Our next price target would be right about here. Now, what's interesting about this is that we have major confluence with the 431 on the monthly resistance, and then we have 423, which is the Fibonacci golden pocket, being 0.61 and 0.65, right? So we could see a little bit of traffic here, but again, this is Ethereum. I mean, it could just blow right through it. It tends to outperform Bitcoin, and this is what I mean. Perfect example, right? See over here, I'll pull out this price range tool. We had this breakout months back in July 20th, and then we broke up to 106% in a matter of 2 months, right? So actually not even, okay, yeah, call it a month and a half, right? 107%. So again, if we see something of the same sort, right, we could pretty much see in the immediate short term, and I'm talking about a couple months or so, or a month and a half, we could see, draw this AB equals CD once again. And we're going to move it over from this breakout point. Rather, this low, sorry. In the short term, we could see a $564 Ethereum. Now, I have reason to believe that we could see much higher. Now, you may be asking why, right? Well, I'm going to go ahead, pull up this VPVR tool, volume profile. If you notice, the reason why I love this tool so much is because it shows you where the most traded volume's happening at. And you'll notice over here that the volume drops off a ton, right? And as soon as we break this monthly resistance, where does the volume go, right? I'll scale out some more. And you can see it for yourself. There's virtually like no volume ahead of us, right? So this is why I say this thing could take off a lot higher. And maybe even by the ending of November, we could see somewhere around $600 or plus Ethereum. I want to say anywhere between 600 to 6. Let's see where they're looking at previous support resistance here. We could see, with this volume dropping off, we could see anywhere between a $580 to, call it a 646 Ethereum, right? Within the next month and a half. So look out for this, guys. Ethereum's on a tear right now. When the Bitcoin dominance begins to fall off, guess where that money begins to flow? Alts. Normally, and not to mention, we just got this Ethereum 2.0 news that came out yesterday during the election, right? So Vitalik, good on you. Shout out Vitalik for that. We're gonna see this thing go to the moon, but we just gotta be precautious. So consider taking profits all throughout. Don't just hold this to my price targets. Again, this is not trading advice. This is just a matter of opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
If you haven't seen our first video, go ahead and check that one out on the channel, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you could be alerted whenever we have new videos coming out. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you back here again soon at the Crypto Lab Academy.